New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 31, Day 18, Block A, the final day of Block B. Excuse me, I said Block A a minute ago, but the final day of Block B. Like once again, like on Block A, we are in Budokan Hall. We have our finals in Budokan Hall. We're wrapping up in Budokan Hall, of course. And the main event of today's show that just took place mere hours ago, we have the main event, Kazuchika OKADA taking on Jeff Cobb, who've had kind of a mini rivalry this year. They will decide the winner of Block B, and we'll also decide Kota Ibushi's opponent for tomorrow morning's G1 Climax Finals. So let's go ahead and break it down. We have some other, festivities to happen within the show. First and foremost, we're the SOS Wrestling Network. Be sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into this show. So the first match we had on the show was a pre-show match. We had Los Dos Peligrosos, Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi, taking on the Young Lion team of Ryohei Oya and Kosei Fujita right here. So Los Dos have been giving these young bulls a little bit of a more offense as they have to keep going and having tag team matches with them. Like I said, Oya remains miles ahead of Fujita, so they built the match around Fujita selling and Oya getting a hot tag. I thought that was a good little bit of intricacy to this match right here. So we got Hiromu applying the crab to Oya to get the submission right here. I thought this was a nice spirited opener. Only went 8 minutes and 7 seconds. So what more could you really ask for right there? I guess before the show started, there was a performance by, I'm not sure the band's name, but it's something about Max to Max. I think the band's name is actually Jam Project. So Jam Project performed a live rendition of the G1 Climax, theme song this year. So, and next we have opening the card officially. Block B action. We have Yoshihashi taking on and defeating Chase Owens around 8 minutes and 27 seconds right here. This is a really solid undercard match, but ultimately it was really nothing to write home about. It was just really solid work by two really solid wrestlers right here. So we get towards the end. We get Owens hitting that very Ricky Morton-esque style neck breaker right there. We get him hit a short clothesline after that. He's able to avoid a rewind kick, and he hits his own version of a Shining Wizard. He hits a couple C triggers here. Yoshihashi hit a sloppy net breaker over his knee, and he got a 2 count for that. Chase Owens was able to block Karma. He used the inside cradle for a near fall. Owens hits another C trigger. Yoshihashi blocked the gun stun and hit Karma to get the win. Not the gun stun. I want to say gun stun. He actually had a couple package power driver attempt blocks, not the gun stun. What am I talking about? Even though it's Bullet Club gun stun, maybe he calls it the gun stun too. What do we know? So next match we have Hirooki Goto taking on and defeating Tama Tonga with Jado around 15 minutes and 19 seconds right here. These guys had a really great match with some really cool reversals and misdirection spots right here. Tama Tonga deadass should probably get some tournament MVP votes if you ask me, because he brought it every single night, man. So we get the finishing sequence. Tama going for a gun stun. Goto's able to block it and use a leg sweep to set up the Goto Sanshiki for a cradle flash pin right here. This is a really good match between these two guys. Like I said, the misdirection spot. These guys are pretty much masters of mixed direction, so that's what you're going to get here. That's what you should expect. Next match we have moving on up the card for Block B. We have one half of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Dangerous Tekker Taichi, taking on it with Miho Abe. Not to be outdone, with Miho Abe. Taking on and defeating the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi. 2 hairs under 15 minutes right here. This is a much different than a typical Tanahashi match, but it was a really good match, man. The story of this, whether it's work or shoot, the story of Taichi's last 3 matches have been that he's hurt, and they played right into that right here. So we get Tanahashi going after the ribs. He's pretty much dominating this match from the outset, to be honest. So towards the end, we get Tanahashi hitting the standing high fly flow, otherwise known as the Aces High, He went for the standard high fly flow. Taichi's able to roll out the way. He then used the ghetto clutch to pin and steal the win from Hiroshi Tanahashi, which I thought was excellent. Tanahashi pretty much dominated him for most of this match, and we get Taichi sneaking by, but not like he usually would in many years past, not being a weasel, but just eking out a victory, just having some veteranship and some ring generalship to take advantage of Tanahashi's mistake right there, and I thought that's what happened. That was a nice touch, man. So next week at the penultimate match of the show, we have Evil with Dick Togo taking on and defeating SANADA 17 minutes and 47 seconds. This is really a complete mess and featured all of everyone's pet peeves about Evil matches. We get ref bumps, throwing them to the ring announcer's table. Y'all already know the shtick right here. Plus, they added the bonus of Logic Flaw in every SANADA match that he's won. The thing with the skull, and he always gives it up. Or with SANADA, he'll have the skull in locked in, and he'll let it go, hit the moon to try to attempt the moonsault press. But that Logic Flaw happened in his brain again, where he has the match won with the skull, and then he gives up the hole and he misses a moonsault. So it makes him look so dumb. Evil tried to walk out of the match before it even started. Of course, SANADA threw him back into the ring here. After what felt like an hour of ref bumps, chair shots, Togo interference, exposed turnbuckles, low blows, Evil hit a chair. He just threw flung the chair at SANADA's head. He hit SANADA with a chair, hits everything as Evil, and he finally got the pin right here. So, it's a fucking mess, man. It was not good. So, moving on to the main event, we had 4 of the Block B. The winner takes all right here. The winner takes the Block B side of the G1 Climax. We got Kazuchika Okada taking on and defeating Jeff Cobb. About 23 minutes and 35 seconds. This is a really great match. Okada worked over Cobb's neck. Cobb worked over Okada's back. Then the last 10 minutes, they just faded finisher attempts, and it was pretty fucking awesome, man. So they begin teasing the finishers. We got Cobb ducking a Rainmaker. Then he hit 2 tombstones of his own. Okada hit a Rainmaker, but he couldn't follow up. Cobb was able to duck a lariat, but Okada was able to fire back and hit a dropkick. Okada then used the money clip to set up the spinning tombstone. He went back to the money clip, but Jeff Cobb got back to his feet. They traded backslide attempts, and then Cobb hit a nasty headbutt. Okada was able to block a tour of the islands. Cobb ducked the Rainmaker. Okada used a cradle for a near fall round to pass the 20-minute mark. Because that's the last time when Okada beat Jeff Cobb. That's what he actually used to beat Jeff Cobb. So we get Cobb blocking the air raid crash. He's able to hit a dropkick with Okada seated on the top turnbuckle. We get Okada blocking a superplex here. Okada blocked a second superplex with a DDT attempt off the top rope. It was a sketchy DDT, but it was a DDT nonetheless. Okada missed the Rainmaker. Okada is able to slide out of the tours of the islands, and he hits another dropkick. Okada hits a landslide, and he hits the Rainmaker to get the pin and the win around 23 minutes and 35 seconds. So, yeah, we get to our G1 final of Kazuchika Okada versus Kota Ibushi, which was actually a block final last year. Ibushi advanced. He defeated Kazuchika Okada to go to the final of G1. So that's what our next big matchup is for the G1 Climax 31. Seen a lot of negative things about it. The booking, of course, we all talked about New Japan's booking, of course, right now. And it's kind of crazy because Okada and Kota Ibushi are in an enviable position, to where you knew at one point Okada was going to be back in his title mix. I don't know why people didn't see that. He's a big player for New Japan Pro Wrestling. It only makes sense for him to be back in the title hunt. He's been almost out of the title hunt for almost 2 years, so this kind of makes sense. And he wouldn't even have got the title challenge this past summer or spring, whatever the fuck it was, if Kota Ibushi didn't contract, not CV, but if he didn't get pneumonia. So he would have been out of the title scene even longer, and this would have been like more of a fresh matchup to where, not a fresh matchup, but it's like, oh, Okada's back in the title picture again. That's a good thing to see. And then on the other side, of course, Kota Ibushi going to his 4th G1 final in a row, potentially winning his 3rd G1 in a row. I'm not really a big fan about that. Not really having to do with anything with Ibushi. It's pretty much with anybody winning 3 of anything, especially in a row. And 2, they've booked Ibushi pretty trash this last, I don't know, I can almost say last year, man. So tomorrow is the G1 final. Of course, I will be watching. Of course, I will have a review for it. Hopefully, y'all will be here to join me. Matter of fact, you will be here to join me. If this is your first time checking us out, like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are the Almighty SOS Wrestling Network, and I am signing off, man. It's your boy, the Pro Wrestling Fly Guy, dude. G1 finals tomorrow morning. Dude, I'm out, man. We ready.